What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is ASA Studio. Today we're in Photoshop and we're going to be retouching this image. So it's a skin retouching tutorial. All right, so let's get started. Now you notice in the image it's underexposed. As you can see, it's not looking lively and it's not bright. So we have to fix that first of all. So those are the things you need to look out for. The first step is to grab the adjustment layer, which is the exposure. So I'm going to brighten up the image a bit. Let's take it up. And that should be okay for the now. And we have before and after. Now it just brighten up the image and the face of the model. Okay, so next thing we're going to be doing some color correction. So for that, I'm just going to grab the hue and saturation and notice how this place is colored just because of the reflection. I'm going to leave it like that, but I'm going to fix this top part of our hair, and we're going to get this slider right here after selecting this top part. Okay, so you're going to increase the slider and you can see different skin uh, color, so compared to here and the top. So I'm just going to focus more on this green one by taking the slider forward to get just this place alone. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to make this place 0, and then we can decrease the saturation because I see that it's saturated. So we can decrease the saturation, and also we can also change the hue. So let's take it backwards to have this one like this. All right, so now I'm going to hit the off and on to see the changes that we have. Now we don't want to change the background and the image, but it just makes the image looks brighter. So look at before and now the after. Okay, so one more thing we need to do is to grab the solid color adjustment layer. Just hit OK for any color. I'm going to turn this on, turn it off, and then select the solid color, and we're going to pick the hand, and that's the color. Let's pick this from this side, which is representing white in the image. I'm going to take it all the way up and hit OK, turn it back on, and then change the blending mode to divide. So we have it like this. So we have the before and then the after. Notice how it gives the melanin skin tone. You can decrease the opacity if you want, or the flow, and just make it look natural. So we have before and then the after. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, let's decrease it to 50%. Let's create a stem visible layer after that. So either hold down Control Shift Alternate E, select the first one first. So Control Shift Alternate E to create a stem visible layer. Now we're going to be doing frequency separation. So Control J twice to do your frequency separation. I'm going to name this color. So frequency separation was separating the color and the texture so that we can work on them independently. So texture, TURE, yeah, it's enter. And now we're going to turn off the texture layer, select the color layer, go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. I'm going to blur it. The more you blur, the more texture you're going to have. So let's blur it like this, and then it's okay. 3.8 looks fine. I'm going to turn this on, select the texture, go to image, apply image, and we're going to, under the layer, select the color. Under the blending mode, select subtract. We're subtracting the texture. We've subtracted the texture from the color, and leave the scale to offset 128, and it's okay. Now change the blending mode back to linear light. Okay, so I'm going to group the two together and then open up the group. For the texture, for the color layer, you're going to use the mixer tool brush and set your brush settings like the one above. Uncheck sample all layers, mix 90, flow 100, load 75, wet 9. From 9 to 14 is okay. Clean brush and this one. So for your texture layer, you're going to be using the clone stamp tool. So let's start with the blending of the skin tone. I'm going to select the color layer, select the brush, and let's start blending. So just zoom out a little bit and blend according to the contour of the face. So something like this. And it's just going to blend the skin together. So you keep on blending till you have uniform skin tones. Sometimes you can use the lasso tool and then blur. Let me show you how to use the lasso tool in doing that. So you're just going to grab the lasso tool and then you're going to draw like this. You can feather it out, and you can go to select and mask and feather it out, but just go to filter, blur, then Gaussian blur, and you're going to blur it. You can blur it more, and it's okay. Do the same, come here, you get the trick, and then go to filter, blur. Same thing, you can do Gaussian blur, and it's just going to repeat the process. So like this, filter, repeat the Gaussian blur, and that's just what you should be doing. And I'm gonna do same here as well. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and that's it. But I like using the mixer to brush, and just gonna blend because there's some specific place you need to just blend together. So I'm gonna quickly blend all those together, and so done blending. And you're going to select the texture layer, select the clone stamp tool, and this is how it works. You hold down Alt to sample an area. Let's make it bigger. Sample an area is skin texture, and then use it to cover places you need it. So somewhere like this, I'm going to cover this like that, and you can keep doing that till you have uniform texture. Okay, so something like this, just keep covering. So she doesn't have a lot of skin blemishes, so we're just gonna leave it like this. And now we can focus more. Let's create a stem visible layer after doing this. Control Shift and A, and we can do some dodging and burning. So let's first of all dodge. I'm gonna take it up and it. So let's Control I to invert the mask. Grab the normal brush tool, and then you're gonna paint just one dab, one, and focus more on, let's make it smaller on the lips. I'm gonna make it very visible, take it up, yeah, so something like that. Focus more on the highlight of her face, like this, on the nose, and draw a straight line down. So where else do we need, yeah, a cheekbone for the light. We can also focus more right there, and here and here. Okay, so here as well on the tip of the eyebrow. So now we're going to get another one, and this is going to be for burning. So take it down like that and invert the mask. Control I to invert the mask, and let's focus more to on places that's going to, so somewhere like this, this, and this. I'm going to focus more here, big line. I hope it's working. Okay, for this one, and that should be all for now. This side as well. Okay, so what we are going to be doing is to feather it out. So I'm going to go down to this, double click on it, and go to the properties, which is this side. And okay, so let's go to the properties of the mask. Click the mask, double click the mask, then go to the feather and feather it out. Let's just feather it till look very realistic. You can as well zoom out and see. So that's too much. Okay, something like that. I'm going to go for this as well. Double click, select the mask, and then feather it out. Just like that. Okay, so this is going to be for our dodging and burning. I'm going to group it together. Now, one last thing you can actually use in enhancing is to go down to camera raw filter. So let's create a stem visible layer, and for the last one, go to camera raw filter. Go to filter, camera raw. Now under camera raw filter, let's start with the basic tab. You can do the white balance again and do auto, and it's going to bring it like this, but you can leave it as a shot. You can grab this and do whatever you want to do it. So I think I like this one, the way it is looking brownish and very beautiful. We could go ahead and start with the highlight. I'm going to increase the highlight, not too much, just like 25. And the white, let's take it up a bit. Let's bring down the shadows to create more tension in the image. Bring down the blacks, something like this. And we could increase the texture, take off the texture, and not too much. That's looking too much. So just a little bit. And let's give it some vibrance and the rest. So I'm going to go up, and you can use, let's just use it in contrast instead of using the curve, so I'm not going to use the curve. You can go to the color mixer, but I think I already like it like this. But if you want to make things look a little bit rich, you can as well increase the saturation of the orange, and look at what it does. Just give it a little bit shiny, blendy orange. So I'm going to leave it like this at 10, and let's increase that of the yellow as well. Okay, so in order for us to get the yellow of the real image, let's do the before and after. I'm going to go to the hue of the yellow and make it look more like the orange. So something like this. So it looks more like the first orange we have, and no difference. Okay, so let's go back to the saturation. I guess there's some blues or aqua here, so I'm going to increase the saturation of that, and I'm going to get more colors. Go to the hue and make this look like the aqua, make the blue look like the aqua. It's just to enhance the image, and that should be all. If you want to use the calibration, I like using this part. I like taking it backward and taking the blue primary forward, and it just add a little bit then like a color grading kind of thing. But I'm gonna leave it. I think it's not needed in this image. So, but you can take it forward and just see where it looks good for the image. So I'm gonna take this back and look for a sweet spot for the greens. Let's see before and after, before and after. So we can leave it like this. Let's take it back. I want to make just little adjustment, and it's okay on the keyboard. So here we go with our new final image. So I'm going to group everything together and show you the before and the after. So let's group it and see our before looking dull, and now our after looking so bright. Before and after. So thank you guys for watching. If you really enjoyed the tutorial, let me know in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, please kindly subscribe. See you guys in the next tutorial.